For years, most of us have thought of Tesla as a car company, right? Well, their latest master plan, Part 4, suggests they're building something else entirely. We're not just talking about cars or energy anymore. This is about AI, robotics, and a future they're calling sustainable abundance. So let's dive in and figure out what that actually means. Since the very beginning, Tesla's mission has been all about sustainability. But this new chapter, the one they're laying out for 2025, it feels like a huge evolution of that core idea. They're basically saying they've spent almost 20 years building the foundation, and now they're ready for a massive leap forward. To really get what they're aiming for with Part 4, you kind of have to look back at how we got here. The previous master plans weren't just separate ideas, they were steps on a much, much longer journey. It all kicked off way back in 2006 with a pretty simple but totally audacious goal: just electrify transport. Then, 10 years later, in 2016, they threw clean energy generation and storage into the mix. Part 3 in 2023 was all about scaling that up into a full-blown sustainable energy economy. And that brings us to today and Part 4's goal of sustainable abundance. You can just see the ambition getting bigger and bigger with every step. So what is this new chapter all about? This is where things get really, really interesting, because it goes way beyond just making clean energy and cool cars. Okay, this is the key. The big shift right here. Tesla is now basically defining itself as a company that builds products to bring AI into the real physical world. The plan is to combine everything they've learned about manufacturing at a massive scale with all their work in AI to create something brand new. And here it is, the core definition they're putting out there. Sustainable abundance is all about unifying the hardware, the cars, the robots, the batteries, with software and AI. And the ultimate goal? Well, it's to create so much efficiency and productivity that it ends the very idea of scarcity and helps drive economic growth for literally everyone. That sounds pretty abstract though, right? So how does it actually work in the real world? Let's take a look at how all these different pieces connect to form one massive ecosystem. It all starts with the pieces we're all pretty familiar with. You've got a house with solar panels on the roof, a battery in the garage for storage, and electric cars plugged into a charging network. This is the foundation, the stuff we already know. And from there, it just scaled up to an industrial level. We're talking huge battery storage systems for the power grid, and of course, electrifying commercial transport with the Tesla Semi. The whole system is just getting bigger and more comprehensive. And boom, this is the full vision. What's so fascinating here is that new piece right in the middle, AI compute. It's basically the brain, the central nervous system that connects manufacturing, trucking, robotaxis, humanoid robots, and the entire energy network into one single intelligent system. So let's just quickly break down those key pillars. You've got the advanced manufacturing, that central AI compute brain, a whole fleet of autonomous robotaxis, the Optimus humanoid robot, and then the integrated energy and trucking networks we just saw. The point is, they're not separate products anymore. They're all interconnected parts of one giant machine. Now, a huge piece of this vision, maybe one of the biggest, rests on Optimus, the humanoid robot. Its main job is to completely change the nature of labor by taking on all the jobs that are repetitive, difficult, or just plain unsafe for people to do. And here you can see it in a real setting. By automating physical labor, Tesla claims the ultimate mission is actually a very human one: to free people from boring, monotonous work and give them back their most precious resource, which is time, so they can do more creative and fulfilling things. Okay, so we've seen the what and the how, but why are they doing all this? Let's dig into the core philosophies that are driving this unbelievably ambitious plan. This first principle is a big one. It's a flat-out rejection of the idea of scarcity. The belief here is that human ingenuity is the one resource that's truly limitless. They argue that technological progress, the kind of stuff that sparked industrial revolutions, doesn't shrink the pie, it makes it bigger for everyone. The second idea is that innovation breaks down barriers that we used to think were permanent, and they use their own history as the perfect example. The whole idea of mass-producing cheap batteries to power the entire auto industry, to a lot of people, that seemed impossible, a total fool's errand. But with enough innovation, it became the new standard. And these beliefs really tie it all together. First, technology should be used to solve actual, real-world problems. Second, the development of autonomy has to be focused on making life better and safer for everybody, not just a select few. And finally, Making these advanced tools affordable and getting them into the hands of as many people as possible is what really drives growth and improves quality of life for all of society. Now, to their credit, Tesla is super upfront about how hard this is going to be. They say it right in the plan that eliminating scarcity will be extremely difficult. And they fully expect that a lot of people are going to call it impossible and point out every single failure along the way. At the end of the day, this whole thing comes down to one single massive bet, that by weaving together manufacturing, energy, and physical AI, Tesla can actually create a future of sustainable abundance, a world without scarcity. It's a vision that honestly sounds like it's straight out of science fiction, but they're laying out a roadmap to make it real. And the question that leaves all of us with is, will this be the plan that finally pulls it off?